So this election, for some people, had a very shocking outcome. For some other people, we knew exactly what was going to happen.
Right.
But what I think we could all learn from this election and this election result is that one thing spoke to majority of people, and that is issues. Am I in favor of Kamala Harris or Donald Trump? No, not really. But one thing I can say is I can look at each one of their campaigns, and I can honestly tell why Trump won over Kamala Harris. So I think Kamala Harris's big point when she was running was she had a lot of women issues that was important to women, which I don't think were bad. And one of her biggest things was abortion, a woman's right, which I think is a good issue. And then Trump, on the other hand, what his primary campaign was about the economy, and it was about immigration. And I think that's how Trump won. I think at the end of the day, when ish hits the fan, people care about their pockets. People care that they can't afford things. People care that 4 or 5 years ago, they were living a lot better than they are now. People care about the fact that they can't even afford to go out. And I think that's why Trump won. I think the economy is something that everybody could relate to. Whether you're black, whether you're white, whether you're Hispanic, whether you're Asian, whether you're a woman, whether you're a man, whether you're straight, whether you're gay. And I think that's what really got people to rally behind him. Because if you look at the numbers, he won the popular vote. He won the electoral college. He won the battle on social media. Like, if you go to any one of Trump's social media or any of his interviews, they always have, like, millions and millions of views. And you look at Kamala Harris's, and it's not the same in regard. Matter of fact, with Kamala Harris, you might even see even more negative comments than you see at Trump. And Trump is hated a lot.
Well, not much left for me to say there, buddy. So I guess I'll take it a little bit deeper what you said, because you already touched on all the points. I agree with what you said. What I'll say is I'll specify. I agree. Look, you already said what is true. The issues that Donald Trump's campaign focused on were issues that appealed to a broader group of people. It appealed to everyone, essentially. Like you said, money and safety. That's a basic human needs.
Yeah.
Whereas Kamala Harris's campaign, they seem to be focused in on a very small segment of the U.S. demographic. It seems just by their campaign, the type of celebrities they brought out, they had a lot of twerking on stage,
oh man.
You know what I mean?
They had the world's worst ads.
Terrible ads.
Their ads were like the ads that she had towards men were probably the worst ads I've ever seen in my life.
And yeah, so it's like they were bad. So, and I'll be honest too, and this doesn't reflect my opinion or my belief, but I do have a thought or an inclination that perhaps the U.S. as a whole may not be ready for I'm not sure if the U.S. is ready for a woman or not, and I'm really not certain if the U.S. is ready for a woman of color. And so maybe that's what happens. Again, that's not my personal view, but I don't know. When I look at the polls, I think what I saw, they said that maybe 70 to 80% of white women voted for Trump. And I think maybe 65% of Latin American men voted for Trump, and I think even like 25% of black men voted for Trump. I don't know. It was a huge turnout from groups that typically, I guess, you wouldn't expect. So I don't know.
And something else that I also want to touch on is, if I'm being truthfully honest, I don't know if Kamala Harris was the best candidate to run.
She wasn't. That's right.
Like, I'm just being honest. I don't think that she was the strongest candidate in general. Just because she wasn't very popular even before Joe Biden dropped out. Like, even as a vice president, and then to try to put her to president status, I just personally couldn't see her winning. If it was like, do I think the U.S. is ready for a woman president? I honestly don't know. So when Hillary ran, I initially thought no, because Hillary had way more qualifications than Donald Trump. And I really thought that she would win against Donald Trump. So when Donald Trump won over Hillary, then I was like, okay, well, I'm not sure the United States is ready. But Kamala Harris, I can honestly say that, I don't know. It's just that to me, she just wasn't popular to begin with. So I can't accurately say that now. Like, like, for example, if Hillary were to run in 2024, then and she didn't win against Donald Trump, then I'd be like,
Right.
Maybe the U.S. can't handle a woman president. Maybe they feel uncomfortable with a woman president. But because I know it's someone that wasn't liked to begin with,
Yeah.
I'm kind of like, well, I don't know. I'm pretty sure no president has ever been reelected in a bad economy. And I think that's the other big issue. And this is what I think is one of the biggest issues is the fact that like they were telling us for months that this is the strongest economy, that this economy was great. And what people were seeing in their regular lives was not strong, was not great. And I'm not saying that it wasn't great for some people. Some people, listen, could have been, great, doing good, driving the cars they want to drive. But I think for the most people and average people, most people were doing bad. And you had everybody telling us that we're doing good. And people didn't feel it. And I think to people, that's a big slap in the face. Like just think about it. Like, everyone's telling you, like, oh, this is great, this is doing bad. And you have a lot of people being laid off. You have a lot of people who can't afford groceries. You have a lot of people whose car payment is as much as their house payment.
Another issue I think that was also high up on people's list, maybe higher than what Kamala Harris's campaign focused on, is ending wars around the world and focusing more on improving the U.S. as opposed to focusing on fighting these conflicts and these wars overseas. And so I think that was also important to people. And another reason why Trump won is because he also campaigned on, I'm going to stop these endless wars. I'm going to end these conflicts going on overseas. And we're going to focus on making America strong. And I think that appealed to a large demographic of people. So it's not that Kamala Harris's campaign, the issues that they were focused on are unimportant. That's not what I'm saying. Like you mentioned before, they were focusing on women's rights. That's the biggest thing I know they were focusing on. Those things are very important, no doubt. It just seems as though the majority of the American public, which is reflected in Donald Trump's landslide victory, was more so concerned with those other issues higher up on their list. Not to say that they're more important issues, but that they're more dire issues at the moment, right? So I think that's what pushed him over the top.
And I think ultimately, even the news said that she wasn't very popular with a lot of men. I think she was very popular with a lot of women. And it's very hard to win the U.S. if you can't get both of those audiences. You can't get both men and women. And I think that's a big issue. I think you can't run a campaign that only appeals. It's, for example, like, let's say she did a campaign that only appealed to men and men's issues. Men's issues are important, just like women's issues are important. But then the women are left like, hey, what about us?
Yeah, and to add to your point, too, it's not only that she just appealed mostly to women, she also appealed to a certain segment of women.
Yeah.
Because a lot of white conservative women voted for Trump. Yeah. This is based off numbers. This is what they showed. So it's not even as if she had down the middle all women and Trump had down the middle all men. She was already against the
Oh, yeah, because you know what? Yeah. Because that particular issue does retain to some people who are religious. So if you're a very religious person, chances are that you probably wouldn't vote for her in regards to that particular issue.
Yeah.
So, that does make sense.
More religious, exactly. So, and there are other people too, but that's even big enough. Just middle America, suburban. Woman who's conservative is most likely not going to be.
And you know what? Now that I think about it, and I think about her ads, it's kind of like, why would they? Like think about it. If you're like a conservative woman, and you're not black,
right,
and your religion is against what she's talking about, and then you look at her campaign, and then you see Meg Thee Stallion twerking, that's not going to appeal to you.
That's what I'm saying.
So
that's what I'm saying. Like, okay, so I watched both. I watched a lot of the political news as it was going on, just out of curiosity. So I saw some of the RNC. I watched some of the rallies for both sides. So I was just trying to get an idea of how both sides were handling things, who both sides were bringing on as supporters. And what I noticed is that a lot of the supporters on Trump's side, he seemed to have a variety of people who were on his side. Elon Musk, he had, as a matter of fact, I'll look at the rallies and compare it to, Kamala Harris had a lot of rappers and celebrities. J-Lo.
Oh.
Meg Thee Stallion.
You're right.
Cardi B.
Yeah.
What's that one? Glorilla. So they're all like a same type of genre.
Genre of people. She did have Taylor Swift.
Whereas Donald Trump had a variety of people.
Yeah.
They had black conservatives there. They had white conservatives there. They had Indian conservatives there. They had women there. They had elderly people. They had one guy speak there that was a World War II veteran.
They had Amber Rose there.
They had Amber Rose there.
Super random.
That's what I mean. Like they had a variety of people there versus.
Yeah, you're right.
So it's like
Elon Musk alone would have got me, bro. Like Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Listen, I think say whatever you want to say. Elon Musk is a freaking genius.
Of course.
He is a freak. Like he is a true national treasure, bro.
Oh, he's a national treasure.
He is a true national treasure.
He's single-handedly reshaping the world for the better.
Yes. Okay. So ultimately, guys, yeah, I'm gonna say I think we all learned a lot from this election. The results speak for themselves. It looks like most of America, regardless of what anyone thought of Trump, most of America voted for him.
Facts.
Like literally, most of America. Like I was shocked. Someone showed me the map of California, and California voted for Kamala Harris. But you see all the red on that map. It's actually it's pretty astonishing in California.
I know, that's crazy.
And then all the swing states.
Yeah.
Apparently he got all. Didn't he get all the swing states?
As far as it looks like, he's gotten 4 for sure. I think 2 more are like leaning. They're pretty much going to him. Yeah. I think he swept all this. No pun intended. He swept all the swing states. Yeah.
Damn. I think the craziest part of this entire thing was that, and this goes to show you. So Trump doesn't have the when it comes to being president. There's a lot of political people who have all the gold stars. Mm-hmm. Obama, all the gold stars. Bush, all the gold stars. Biden, whether you like him or not, has all the gold stars. Trump doesn't have a lot of those gold stars. He's not a politician. What he does have, and Trump's biggest power, is his mouthpiece. It's the reason that people hate him, but it's also the reason why people like him, because people can relate to him. And I think that's the biggest thing that made Kamala Harris lose. I think when Kamala Harris was trying to relate to people, a lot of people didn't buy it. When Trump talked, people believed it because they're like, listen, this is a guy who says whatever he wants during a press conference. He's not lying. And at no point in time did this guy ever say he's like us. He knows he's not like us. And I think that's what people relate. I think at this point, people just want somebody who's real. Like, if anyone has ever taken sales or any kind of sales class or done sales in the modern future in 2024, a lot of times what they'll teach you, they'll say that people don't like to be sold to. They don't. They hate being sold to. They hate when people come super salesy, like, oh, I'm here to sell you. They want someone who sounds regular. Oh, hi, would you like to, they want something that sounds regular. And I think that's where he excelled, where Kamala failed, unfortunately, was just that I think people believed him being authentic. Whether you thought he was crazy or not. There are people who probably thought Trump was nuts, but they're like, well, I believe him. And that's all I gotta say, man. So I mean, that's what I learned from this election. So
yeah, I think we touched on it. I think you guys let us know what you think in the comment section. Why you think Trump won? Whether you hate him or love him, because I know this politics is divisive, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we're like you. We're in the middle. Well, we're not like you. We're in the middle. We're kind of independent, but whatever you feel, how you feel, let us know in the comments what you think.
I mean, apparently people like him because the results.
Well, yeah.
You can't get results like that if people don't like him.
The majority of people actually, I take it back. Maybe they don't like him, but they're like, you know what? I think even if I don't like him or like him, he will get done what I want to have done. Maybe they're a liberal and they're like, oh, I can't stand this guy. He's brash. He's arrogant. He's annoying. But I do believe him when he says he'll get the economy better. I'll vote for him. You know?
I think we've said enough. All right, decision makers, let us know what you like. Don't even know what to say.